Hey guys, Chris Meeks here, Director of Financial Aid, host of Mondays with Meeks. Exciting one today. We're here with the welding program. So let's go ahead inside, check it out. Isn't this where the welding program is? Hey Dusty. Hey, it's Chris. So yeah, I'm over here in the. Oh. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Hey guys, so we finally found welding, and I'm here with Dusty Baker. He's the program director for the welding program here on campus. So thanks for being here with us.
No problem.
So if it's okay with you, kind of just want to jump in.
Okay.
So what is welding?
So welding is the joining of two materials by either heat, pressure, or fusion.
Okay.
And that's the kind of the definition, I guess you could say. So it's the joining of metals.
Okay, the joining of metals. That's cool. So in this program, what types of welding can you learn?
So in our program, we start students off from the very beginning with some sheet metal arc welding. Okay. Some people call that stick welding.
Okay.
Then we go into some gas metal arc welding, which some people call MIG.
Okay.
So wire fed, and then TIG or gas tungsten arc, and then we do those processes in different positions using different electrodes, and then we get into welding, obviously some pipe, some structural stuff, but those are the three main processes that we teach here.
Okay.
We also go over oxy-fuel cutting, plasma cutting, and carbon arc gouge.
Oh, cool. Okay. And so, you talked about the different types. Do they take different amounts of time, or are there different certificates? Or?
Yeah, so it depends on which class they're in, obviously, as to what we're learning in that class. But they all kind of coincide together. And then once they've learned the basics of how to lay a bead down with that process, then we start them into just different joints.
Okay.
So we'll do lap joints, we'll do T-joints, and we'll do those in various different positions, all the way from flat to horizontal, vertical, overhead.
Okay.
And then we get into certification testing, where they practice for a weld test.
Okay.
And then they'll pick a day and they test out on that day. And I'm also a certified welding inspector, certified welding educator. And so I can certify these students under certain codes, certain welding codes.
Cool.
So when they leave here, they have the opportunity, right now our program is set up where they take the entire program. They have, I believe it's 13 different certification tests that they have the opportunity of getting throughout our program. And if they pass by the cert code that we're going by, I write them welder qualification papers that they can take with them and kind of have in their resume as proof that they have passed weld tests before.
Oh, that's cool. So when you say go through the entire program, is that an associate's degree?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have an associate's degree that takes 2 years to complete. We also have a basic weld certificate that takes a semester.
Okay.
And we have an advanced certificate, takes 2 semesters, and we have a pipe certificate that takes 2 semesters.
Okay. So they can kind of choose a specialty, so to speak.
Correct.
So they could come in and learn a specific thing, get a certificate, and they would be able to go into the workforce from there.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So kind of talking about workforce, what's the job demand for welding?
Job demands, so they've been saying this for about 10 years. By 2024, there's going to be somewhere around 400,000 jobs available in the United States for welders.
Okay.
The main thing is because of all the older guys that are going to be retiring or leaving or just can't do it anymore. So that market's going to be wide open.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be a big demand for welders.
So in our area or region, what are some of the industries that someone might be able to get a job in welding?
So in New Mexico, we've got a lot of oil and gas.
Okay.
Within oil and gas, there's a lot of different things that a welder can do or get onto. It's not just pipeline welding is what a lot of students see and want to do.
That's what this is. That.
It's similar to this.
Okay.
This is a little more along the lines of being in refineries.
Okay.
Or pump stations, or doing tie-ins to pumps and wells and stuff like that. Pipeline welding is where they're putting a line in and it's going 200 miles.
Okay.
And it's going in the ground, and that's just a transmission line where they're moving oil and gas.
Okay.
This type of stuff, like I said, is also they can go into working in a refinery and doing pipe fitting type stuff and fitting valves and stuff like that.
Okay.
Some of the other things in New Mexico, we a structural welder, building metal buildings, building bridges. There's railroad. You can work on railroad cars. You can work on actual railroad. There's a lot of dairy industry here. So that's a lot of sanitary stainless steel tubing, which we also teach and we have a certification for. There's so much. A welder can, any industry pretty much is going to have the need for a welder.
Okay.
So
with that range of jobs, I imagine the salary range is that
yeah,
huge
it's all over
too?
the place.
Could
Yeah.
you give us just maybe the closest average of starting out or leaving the program maybe?
Okay, so starting off, leaving a program, a lot of my students are starting off somewhere around 20 to 25 grand a year.
Okay.
Now that's base. That's at the bottom. You just got out of school. You're just learning.
Right.
From there, it's endless.
Okay.
They can go all the way up to a lot of your rig welders on the oil field pipelines. Those guys are making somewhere $80,000 to $100,000 a year.
Wow.
Of course, there's no benefits with that, so they're pulling all the weight there.
Right.
So it just depends on where you go. If you're working for a small little fab shop or something, repair shop, that $18 to $20 an hour is about what you're going to get there.
Okay.
Depending on whether you're working for a production plant, that hourly rate goes up. If you're doing, I have some students now that are working up in, or they were before COVID, they were working up in Minnesota, Wisconsin area, doing a lot of stainless steel welding.
Right.
Those guys are making somewhere around the $20 to $40 an hour.
Oh wow.
So yeah, there's
Awesome.
a wide variety of salaries that you can get in the welding field depending on where you want to go,
Right.
what you want to do.
That's awesome.
So
kind of last question. So right now we're in a temporary space
Correct.
For the welding program. Part of the reason I couldn't find this place this morning. Can you kind of tell us what's going on and what we can expect here in the future?
sure. So we a couple of years ago we got some money to renovate our auto welding building.
Okay.
So it's not just welding, but also the automotive program. We were in the same building. So what they're doing is they're going in and kind of laying the footprint out a little bit different.
Okay.
Gives us a little bit more room, user friendly. We're getting updated classrooms, offices,
Nice.
all that kind of stuff. And we were getting pretty cramped where we were at. So this will give us the opportunity to expand a little bit more, expand our program a little bit more, maybe even offer some different program or different classes. And so we're in a temporary facility right now on campus.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in a temporary facility for now. We're hoping they'll be done by December, January of this year. We probably won't move back in over there until next summer.
Okay.
Just so we have time to move stuff in and get it where we want it and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's exciting. We're ready.
Cool. Well, I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, and
Yeah.
we look forward to seeing what you guys have in store for the future.
Excellent.
Bye. Thanks.
Uh-huh.
So you had me shear this piece of metal on the really cool machine. So what are we doing now?
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the gas metal arc welding procedure
Okay.
or process, also known as MIG, which
Okay.
stands for metal inert gas. Okay. And we're going to throw some beads down. We're going to take a couple of these that you sheared up.
Okay.
We're going to run a what we call a T-joint. So
Okay.
the reason we call it a T-joint is because it sits like this. but if you turn it upside down, it looks like a T, right? And we're gonna put a weld right here,
Okay.
okay? First, we're gonna go through the setup of the machine.
Okay.
Okay, just so you kind of familiarize yourself a little bit and understand how it works.
Okay.
So the way this machine works is it gets power from a different source, which we'll have to turn on the machine here in a minute.
Okay.
We have our spool of wire. Okay, so this is not copper wire; it's just copper coated steel.
Okay.
All right. So it comes on a spool, and we feed that through our wire feeder. Okay, and this is a little small motor that basically grabs a hold of the wire, and it shoves it through a liner that comes all the way to our gun. Okay, to our MIG welding gun. The other thing that happens is that we have an inert gas, so we're using 100% carbon dioxide,
Okay.
and so that's run through, and it also runs through that same liner, and it comes out the end of the nozzle.
Okay.
The purpose for having an inert gas or using carbon dioxide is to help shield the weld from any atmospheric contaminants that are floating around in what we're breathing right now. And if you don't do that, you're going to get a lot of holes. You're going to get, the weld's not going to be very good.
Okay.
Okay. So we have to have that coverage. Basically, it's a little bubble we're creating over the hot metal
Okay.
to help protect that weld.
Okay.
Okay. So that's basically how the setup is, real quick and dirty. We'll go turn the machine on, get some power to it, and then I can show you the settings.
Okay. That sounds awesome.
All right, so first thing we're going to do is turn the machine on.
Okay.
Wait for it to boot up. Okay. So this machine has a lot of different settings we can do with this machine. Right now, all we're doing is just regular GMAW welding with CO2. So if we look on our chart here, GMAW CO2, we're using 0.03 diameter wire.
Okay.
And so we want to be on mode 10, or we can just do regular GMA and be on mode 5, which is what we're in.
Okay.
Okay. So how we set our machine is there's a little chart on the inside of this. So if we look at this chart here, we're welding with solid wire.
Okay.
Okay. And we can look on our spool here, and it tells us we've got ER70S6.
Okay.
And then it also tells us the size of the wire is 0.045.
Okay.
Okay. So we're solid wire, we're going to go down to 0.045.
Okay.
We've got two different settings there. It says mode 5, which is what we're in. The two different settings, if we were using a different mix gas,
Okay.
we would be using this one, but we're using 100% CO2, so we're going to be on this one. This comes over L56 wire. We're going to be on electrode positive, which means that our electrode is going to be hooked to the positive side.
Oh, okay.
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 And then we come over and we find where the metal that you sheared was 1/4 inch. So we're going to come down to that same line that comes across, and that gives us a setting. Okay, that we can set this machine to. My recommendation that I recommend to my students is that we go 2 sizes down from that. That way they learn to manipulate it a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to go 160 and 19.
Okay.
Okay. So if we come back to the front of the machine, this is our wire speed, and this is in inches per minute. Okay. So that was 160.
Yep.
And then our volts were 19, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to change this to 19. And now we're set. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tack it together. Okay. So we're going to take these two pieces. I'm just going to hold it. I'm protected from the electrical arc because I've got gloves on. Okay. That keeps us protected from getting shocked.
Okay.
So all I'm going to do is just put a little bitty tack right here.
Okay.
And a little bitty tack right here. How we get this thing to go is there's a trigger right here on the gun.
Okay.
We pull that trigger down and that activates everything to go.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're going to do is get it set right here. I'm going to yell cover.
Okay.
You're going to put your helmet down.
Okay.
Okay. Cover. And we're going to do one more. So you can see I just put a little little dot there.
Okay.
Right? Okay, we're gonna do one more on this side. That way it holds it right where we want it.
Okay.
Okay, so one more. Cover. All right, now we're tacked on. It's not gonna go anywhere. I like to turn it around, and that way we have a full go at it. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm right-handed.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start on the right-hand side, have the gun angle pointed in the direction I wanna go.
Okay.
Okay, and I want to keep about that far away from it. I want the nozzle to be about that far away from the steel.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to keep it here, and all we're going to do is just drag it along.
Okay.
While pulling the trigger.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cover.
Nice.
We wind up with our finished weld.
Yeah.
We want the edges to be tied in nice and neat. We want the whole thing to be uniform as possible.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Ready for your try?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Like that? At the
Just like
same
that.
angle? Okay.
Yep. And then put your helmet down.
Okay.
And then whenever you're ready, pull the trigger. A little more. Okay. Nice.
So I can't see when I put my helmet down.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see until you light it.
That's awesome. Okay. So now we
Okay.
do the other side?
Yep. There's one there.
Is that right?
Yep. Okay.
All right.
So now you're gonna start here.
Okay.
You're just gonna slowly work your way across there.
To that piece? Okay. Alrighty. Here we go. It's about there.
Correct.
Do I start on top of it or right in front?
You can start right on top of it.
Okay. Alrighty.
This is horrible. Okay, get closer.
That was horrible. I can tell.
Okay. So one thing you did
Oh,
is,
yeah.
you see you were too far away.
Okay.
Okay. So next time, I'm gonna grab your hand and I'm gonna kind of lead you along.
That's
Okay. I'm gonna start going to the other side of this.
that's horrible. Okay.
Watch this next one.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get this off of there. Okay.
It's harder than I thought because you can't see.
Yeah.
Okay. So helmet down.
Helmet down. Get where you need to be. So helmet down.
Yeah. About there.
Yep.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, pull that trigger.
There.
Much better.
Much better. That's awesome. So you guys can see, I mean, just one path with the instructor made all the difference in the world. So you can go from whatever that is to something that might be passable. So thanks a lot for the demo today, Dusty.
No problem. Thank you.